Welcome back to the B.S.P.C podcast. We're going to start with the Reddit story like we always do on the beginning of everything. And I got two stories, as always. The first one is by Big_Dig69. Am I the asshole for refusing to lend my cousin money to cover the rent on a house she insisted on renting, even though I told her she couldn't afford it? My 29 male cousin, 26 female, is currently in financial trouble because she moved into a house that is way out of her budget. She has no steady job, relies on odd jobs here and there, and has a terrible spending habit, like she buys $6 lattes every day and eats out constantly. I warned her before she signed the lease that this place was too expensive, but she insisted she deserved a nice place. Fast forward 3 months, she can't pay the rent. She's now asking me, who has my own bills, student loans, and rent to cover, for money just until she gets back on her feet. I said no. I told her I love her, but I warned her from the start that this house was too expensive and I can't be her safety net every time she makes a bad decision. She flipped out and called me a fake cousin, a snob, and said I was letting her become homeless. Now her mom is calling me saying I'm heartless and family should help each other. I feel like I'm being emotionally blackmailed for her financial irresponsibilities. Am I the asshole for refusing to cover the rent on a house I warned her she couldn't afford?
No, you're not the asshole. Sometimes people got to be smart and just pretty much look at the reality of things. You know, if you know that you're hopping from job to job or you're doing odd jobs, stuff like that, and you're not even making enough money to even get this type of place, why would you even get it? And it seemed like that she know that she has the help from you and other people. That's the reason why that she's doing stuff like this. You're not the asshole.
Yeah, I agree. He's not the asshole at all. This cousin of hers reminds me of my ex real bad right now, right now at this current time, because she is consistently asking me for money and she's not my responsibility in any form or fashion. No, you're not the asshole. If you warned her from the very beginning that this place was out of her budget and out of her reach, this is her own making. She has to lay in it. The thing is, I'm not going to sit there and say I know how to handle my finances perfectly. I don't. I splooge sometimes when I shouldn't. We all do. I don't have the best track record for my finances. However, if she was insistent on moving into a place that was out of her budget, then she's going to have to make extreme cuts. No lattes, no eating fast food every day, having to go to Walmart and buy the cheapest stuff that she can get, live off of ramen noodles and bologna sandwiches if she has to.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, she insists to be in a good place, man. So if you want to live in that good place, you better start living off of fucking bologna. Not even bread. Bread's too expensive nowadays.
That's crazy. Just bologna, bro. That's wild. Man, if I was you, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I would cut all ties with that, bro. Let her grow up. Let her sit there and suffer. Like Matt say, let her eat some bologna sandwiches or just bologna.
Just bologna. Maybe go get a block of cream cheese and just spread that like on a cracker on the bologna instead.
Exactly. And her mom calling you and stuff and saying that you're heartless, like, that's insane. You know, she should know that at the end of the day, her child is irresponsible. And she needs to grow up.
My thing is that she's 26 years old and he's 29 years old. She's a full-grown adult at this point. She should know better on how to go about what she needs to get done, because it's not her cousin's responsibility to take care of her. That's not how this works. It sounds like to me she wants to sit there and have her cake and eat it too type of situation. My ex currently is doing that right now, where even though she lives in assisted living housing, she refuses to get a job, even an at-home job. She refuses to get a driver's license. She refuses to get a car. She's always broke, but every single time I go over there, every single time I talk to her, or every single time my wife happens to see her on Snapchat and see her location and see her stories, she's always at a concert, she's always eating out, she's always at the mall, she's always doing this and that. I go to her house, she has new stuff, new statue, like anime statues and blankets and all this and that, but yet she's calling me, telling me I ain't got money to pay the bills, or I'm like have no food in my house. Can you like lend me $100-$200 so I can get some food? No, like, you making poor financial decisions. You need to get yourself under control, set up a budget, write it down if you have to, figure it out with how much money you have and how much you have to play with. She refuses to do that too, and it seems like that OP's cousin's doing the same thing and expecting somebody else to pay for her lifestyle.
Yep. And if I was you, I'll pretty much tell her and her mom, sit both of them down, let them know, hey, she's 26 years old. She put herself in a situation, and pretty much let her fall, let her hit her head a few times, even though she should have been dead that. She's 26 years old.
No, yeah.
And let her struggle a little bit and let her learn how to actually grow up and get an actual job and actually work towards something that you want, like something nice, something like a nice house.
Yeah.
So
you can't have stuff. Me and you both know this pretty hardcore. I didn't get my first house until 3 years ago. And I'm 30 now, and so I didn't move out of my parents' house until 24. That should say something. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Now, her mom, the last thing I guess I'll say about this specifically, her mom is a POS 100%, because why is the mom calling the cousin and getting on him for not helping her when it's the mother's responsibility, the parents' responsibility to take care? Why ain't you helping your own daughter? Why are you wanting your the cousin to do it, your nephew?
Exactly. They ain't no way they asking you and you have your own bills. They're just crazy.
Like, I know for a fact. Like, I know for a fact if I were to call my dad up right now and be like, hey, I'm struggling, can I borrow a little bit and I'll pay you back, he'll give it to me 100%, even if I don't pay him back, which I have every single time. But he'll give it to me because I'm his son and he loves me and I respect him. Why ain't she involved in helping her finances? It's not his responsibility.
Because she tired of it too. She put it on somebody else. That's all it is.
Well,
at
that's
the end of the day,
that's where she gets it from, her mama.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, she gotta hit her head and she gotta learn. So leave it at that.
Leave it at that. So now we're getting on to the second story. It's by One-Eyed Idiot. One_I_idiot_. Let me correct that. There we go.
Gotcha.
So, am I the asshole for pointing out my mom should teach my siblings how to do chores? I, 17 male, have been pretty much the only child in the household doing chores since I was 12. This is the case in both my mom and dad's house. They are divorced. My siblings will occasionally do chores, but that's with my own help and showing them how to do it. I hold nothing against my siblings for that. It's my parents failing to give them the responsibility. Over time, as I'm the only one upholding my part of the chores, my parents just gave up on getting my siblings to do it. The parents do it or ask me to do it. Now, to the point of the post, last night we finished dinner and my siblings were doing the dishes. As I briefly showed them how to do it a while ago, and my mom randomly decides if it's me or them to do it, they were having difficulties finding where to put stuff. So my mom called me out and asked me to help them. I very calmly said, that's your responsibility. I've been doing this since I was 12 and my sister is 14, not even knowing how to do dishes. My mom didn't care because she was still eating her dinner. So I went to help, only to be nicely sent back by my sister, who figured it out right after. My mom sent me a text later demanding me to stop disrespecting her of how she's 39 and has been doing dishes forever, and to stop giving her shit for asking me to help. I did not reply and went to sleep because I couldn't think of anything to say. I woke up to the internet personally turned off on my computer via the router. It has wired controls like that. Well, next week being her birthday, I saw her text saying that I'm thinking about keeping the graphics card I was giving her for a gift, and the message she attempted to send by turning off the internet was not a good idea. I would say he's not the asshole, and I understand the mom's position too. I wouldn't want to put no assholes here. Her mom is a little bit more, his mom is a little bit more of the asshole of the situation, just not a full-blown asshole of the situation. Now, the only reason why I would give his mom a little bit of the asshole role is that apparently it's not just her, it's also the dad as well. They made no effort on teaching responsibility to the other siblings, these chores and these things that they have to do. My own son, he's slowly, gradually getting chores as he gets older, so he'll understand these are responsibilities you have to take care of. It sounds like they're not putting in the effort to do that, and or just gave up and just forcing OP to just do everything for them instead, which is going to impede their growth on learning how to take care of themselves as they get older. Now, for him, he didn't have to sit there and 100% say, like, calmly said, that's your responsibility. I've been doing them since I was 12. It's like, okay, well, we get that. We understand that. But you could have just sat there and told your mom's like, well, look, y'all taught me how to do all of this. Why won't you go over there and teach them too, so they know how to do it better?
Yeah. So he's 17. I don't think nobody's the asshole in the situation. I think that the 17-year-old could talk to his mom in a better way to express how he feel. Also, I think that the mom could do a lot better job of teaching the siblings of how to spread the responsibility around the house and how to clean up. Me personally, I didn't grow up in the same house with my sister. We grew up in separate houses, but we would always go over each other's house and stuff like that. But when we was around each other, it wasn't no issue of who did what. We worked together. She didn't know how to do it. I taught her how to do it. And our parents taught us well how to clean up. When I went to my grandmother's house, all my cousins used to go over there, and we have responsibilities of cleaning up. You know how grandmothers is. We don't clean up, we get a butt whooping.
Well, I would know how grandmothers were, but I had none. But continue.
Oh, my bad.
That's a whole different story.
But in that aspect, my cousins like kind of like siblings to me. So in that situation, like, we'll all taught how to clean up, regardless of what age you were. You could be 5 years old. You could be up there with a stool washing dishes. No matter how old they are, at the end of the day, you got to be a good parent of teaching your kids responsibility and helping around the house with the older siblings and everything. And on top of that, she got to understand that older sibling can't do literally everything. And he's 17 years old. He's gonna feel like that the world is ending. feel like the world is all against him. So he's at that age to feeling like, man, I'm getting tired of this shit. I'm ready to move out. So you gotta make it a little easier on him. Gotta. He almost out the house. You know, you gotta give some slack.
I understand that the parents
also got to give his mother a slack as well.
Yeah, I understand that the parents are divorced, but it seems like the mother and the father don't fully comprehend and grasp the situation for their own kids. That's tough on them too. They're separated like that. So now, I mean, the older siblings always have a job with their younger siblings regardless. I have an older sibling. He's 33 years old. The older, he's 3 years older than me, 1992. There you go. But anyhow, it's with the situation with the older sibling, they're supposed to be there to help, in a sense, guide the younger siblings. They already know how the parents work. They already know the ups and downs of the household. So the younger siblings are going to get a better understanding of their situation through the older sibling than they actually would through their parents. However, from the rest of that, I mean, there's no problem with the older sibling helping out the younger siblings to learn how to do this, and that. But how I view it, if you're going to do this stuff to your oldest sibling, that they were born first, you're going to have to do the same thing with the others. That's how you make everything fair.
Yep.
Even with my son, there's some things I probably wouldn't do again for my future children, but very few. I was learning. I was young when I had them, but my future child was get the same amount of ass whoopings that my son got if they did the same things. They would be treated the exact same way. They would be shown the exact same things and learn the exact same things in the exact time frame on how they grow up.
With my kids, I'm gonna treat them the exact same way. Whatever, even my daughter, she's 4 years older than my son. Well, however she got her ass whooped, he's gonna get his ass whooped the same way. And how does she clean up? He's gonna clean up, do the same thing. Follow in both of their footsteps, follow in my footsteps. And that's what I'm supposed to do as a parent. And I feel like in today's time, I feel like especially our mom's generation, it seems like siblings that outside looking in from other people, that when they have multiple children, it seems like that the oldest always take the hit, and the younger they go down, the less responsibility that they have.
Yeah.
And they be so mellowed out. Like my mom right now, like she's a totally different person than she was like 10 years ago. Totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
And if my mom was the same person that she was 10 years ago, and she seen my kids doing the certain stuff that they doing now around her, she ain't gonna play. She gonna whoop their ass. But now it's like she's so calm, she's cool, she collective, and I think it just come with age. I think you see your mom 39 years old, she's getting up in age. It's like, really don't care, but I do care at the same time, but I don't. It's
age and responsibility change. It's not her kids, it's your kids. So it's a matter of respect. My parents do the same thing. I had the opposite effect when it came to siblings, because my brother, I can probably count on two hands total how many times he got his ass whooped. Me, no. I had it the hardest, not my older brother. I had it the hardest. My ass got whooped almost every single week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. And when there were chores to do, they didn't ask him, they asked me. But with my son, I mean, the same thing. My parents baby the shit out of him when he comes over.
And my mom never did that. It's not that that they respect me, but they don't want to hit my kids. They don't care nothing about that. It's just a simple fact that they just old, and they just they way more nice now.
Yeah.
But sum up the story. If I give the 17-year advice, be more respectful towards the mom. Give her some grace, and your mom should give you some grace, and y'all need to really talk. Open up about some things. The responsibilities around the house. Just be more open and kind to your mom.
Understanding.
Understanding. Be more understanding. And she should be more understanding. What anime do you feel like is overrated?
Right off the bat, Dragon Ball.
Why is that?
Dragon Ball is extremely overrated because it's nowhere near the same level of hype as it used to be back in the Z days. Super was great and all, to an extent, besides making Goku really stupid. They broke the internet with Ultra Instinct when that came. And I understand that Dragon Ball is a world phenomenon, and they have parades and all that. Even Mexico, if you know that Mexico has a holiday for Dragon Ball specifically. And
they love Dragon Ball.
And it's crazy, but Dragon Ball is extremely overrated nowadays. If you go back and watch Dragon Ball and then watch the new stuff now, it's you can tell it's from a whole different era altogether, and it's extremely overhyped nowadays, especially in the direction that they're trying to go with it. I love everything Dragon Ball. I'm not trying to talk down on Dragon Ball. I'm one that will sit there and tell you that there are fan-made manga of Dragon Ball that does Dragon Ball better than Dragon Ball itself.
I would say Dragon Ball is overrated, especially if you compare to a lot of animes today, and a lot of animes that was around this time when it first came out. I feel like the only thing's really holding it up is really the nostalgic and the lore of it, that they still haven't really followed a specific lore, because it's coming out with different lores every 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, there's 2 reasons I believe why Dragon Ball is still as extremely popular today as it was back then. The first reason is because of nostalgia. That's the first reason. Because of nostalgia, because of it blew up overnight, especially in the West. We all grew up on it. Not only that, the fights. There was just no other anime during that time that had fights like that. Even to this day, to a degree. Nope. To a degree, to this day, it still has unique fights in it that other animes don't. Just nowhere, it doesn't hold that pedestal no more like it did back then, though, when it comes to the fights. And the second reason why it's still holding up is because of people like you and me. We got older and we had kids, and we are showing our kids Dragon Ball Z. Like, my son has watched all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, and all of Dragon Ball Super. He knows all of it.
And when my kids get older, I'm definitely gonna show them everything.
And see, they're gonna grow up with nostalgia, and it's gonna continue to keep growing big.
I feel like with Dragon Ball, man, definitely with the fans, old and new, we got to band together, bro, to like get them to like really step up to the plate with these other animes coming out. Don't get me wrong, these other animes, some of them have a good story, some of them animation's not there, or the lore's not there, but it's being so, okay, these animes going like 4 seasons now. 4 seasons, each season got 10 episodes. So it's like TikTok. You got a short span, attention span. Mm-hmm. With Dragon Ball, you have so many episodes and stuff. Like, I feel like it gotta bring it in. I think Dama did a good job with that, but at the same time, it's like they changed so much of it. They changed so much of it, and the old fans is like, what the hell? And it's not comparing with the new anime that's going on right now. It's not competing with it.
No, we can't have another super disaster. And if you remember what I'm talking about, episode 5 of Dragon Ball Super, when it first aired. Do you remember that?
Talking about the animation? Or,
the show, the anime. Episode 5 of Super.
Talking about the animation of it.
The animation, the art style, everything was pure fucking garbage. Look at this. This is beautiful right here. Look at that.
That looked terrible.
That's how it released. This right here is how episode 5 released. The whole episode looked like this. And then even Super Saiyan 3 in this episode was bad. And it was it was terrible, dude. Look at that beautiful face right here. There's Super Saiyan 3 in that episode. Look at that face, man.
That's crazy. I would say Dama represented Dragon Ball a little bit better than Super. Don't get me wrong, Dama was a little kitty. I would say Dama animation was a lot better than Super. And it just presented Dragon Ball in a better light. It's not living up to what's going on in today's time. Like I once again, like the JJKs, like the solo leveling, like the Demon Slayer. Like, it's not really competing with nothing. It's still, to me, is at the bottom right now. And I feel like with like stuff like One Piece, it stayed exactly the same how it had always been from the beginning. And from the beginning, I feel like One Piece was ahead of its time with, the lore, with the animation was pretty good. The fights was pretty good. I watched a little bit of it. I see why they call it Goat Piece. Still not what I like, but I can see what everybody talking about.
I could never get into One Piece.
You gotta. In the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little boring.
It's not even that. It's the art style alone is enough for me not to want to get into it. It's like JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Like JoJo Bizarre Adventures is a good anime to my knowledge. But I can't get into it because I don't like the art style.
I haven't watched it, but I do think it's a little goofy and a little weird, JoJo.
But with Dragon Ball, man, what they really need to do is, I understand that with Daima, that was Akira Toriyama's last piece of work that he officially worked on, that it did a good job on merging on how Dragon Ball was handled into Z as well, on how Z was handled. I feel like it did a good job merging both with the playfulness, the kiddish stuff, comedy, and then serious stuff when it needed to be. But what Dragon Ball really needs to go back to, blood has to come back. That's non-negotiable. Super looked dumb without blood. Then as well, It needs to go back. They're full-grown adults and stuff like that. They have been for a very, very long time besides the new generation. It needs to be more emotional, more serious, and more backs against the wall type of situation. Not stupid back against the wall like how with Goku Black when he popped up, or Jiren overpowered as shit and Goku pulled out a whole new transformation out of his ass just to compete. None of that's fun. Dragon Ball has always had a real big problem. I would personally say after Cell. Cell, you could see the problem starting with the Android and Cell sagas. Frieza was perfect because with Dragon Ball, when you're watching the fight, half that fight is one-sided with the enemy beating the hero's ass. The other half is one-sided again with the hero beating the villain's ass, and it keeps going back and forth. They're just never even. It's always one more powerful than the other. But if you go back, watch Frieza versus Goku, man, they were neck and neck the whole fucking time. In the beginning, no, Frieza was on the ropes, and then when he went up to 100%, yeah, Goku could have still whooped his ass kind of easily, but that's not how it was portrayed. They were neck and neck, trading blows left and right, and the only reason why it really got to the point of Goku just ending it was because Frieza's 100% form was draining his stamina so fast, he was losing power, but Goku got the upper hand. Same thing with the Saiyans, between Vegeta and Goku. They were evenly matched for the most part, and not in the beginning. Goku was overpowering them, then Vegeta had to step up, and then it felt like an even fight. Then with the Cell saga, with the androids, in the beginning, they were clapping cheeks with 19 and 20, then 18 and 17 clap cheeks back. Then that's where the problem really started there, because then Super Vegeta came, beat Imperfect Cell's ass. Then Cell got perfect, beat his ass and Trunks' ass. But then when it got down to the Cell tournament, Goku and Cell, though Cell was stronger, it felt like it was an even fight and it was fun. And then even with Gohan, like you could tell, like with Gohan in the beginning, he was getting his ass whooped, but he would stand up and act like nothing happened. But he just didn't want to fight. So, and that was justifiable when he got Super Saiyan 2 and he whooped Cell's ass. That is okay in my books, because that was built up for so long for Gohan. But
it's no build up at all nowadays, man. and I think
in a lot of anime also, like that now, there's no build up.
Yeah, and I think as Dragon Ball specifically, the side characters need to come back. The TNs, man. The Chatsus, man. The Yamchas, like they need a more prominent role in the anime. Like it's just Goku and Vegeta, maybe Piccolo, maybe Gohan, maybe. But other than that, there's nobody else really like popping off. Like it's just okay, Goku saving the day. If he act too dumb, here come Vegeta to finish it off. And if Vegeta pretty much get his ass whooped, and then Goku power up to another level of Super Saiyan.
It's like with TN, man. TN beat Goku in a world tournament, though he beat him by weird odds. But I mean, TN was a formidable fighter. And then when King Piccolo came, TN didn't really do much against him. He didn't fight against Raditz. He didn't do shit against Nappa, and he didn't do nothing during the Frieza saga. He was dead. The androids came. He didn't even fight 19 and 20. And he went to go fight 18 to help back up Trunks and Vegeta. And then 17 came and back smacked the fuck out of him, and he was gone. And then he came and he became the GOAT for one part when he was holding down Imperfect Cell with his tri-beam and kept burying him in the ground so that 18 had time to run, and he did that. That was cool. But all these characters got so heavily downplayed, and Piccolo to me was the biggest disappointment, because we knew from OG Dragon Ball that him and Kami were once one, and once they fused, where's this badass that I was supposed to see?
He was just aura farming the whole time. And I'm gonna say too, like I'm rewatching Naruto. You rewatching Naruto right now too.
Yep.
Right now I'm in the war. You know, for the guys that watch Naruto. Right now, it's reminding me of how much Naruto did a great job of implementing their side characters and making them as these people that's not to be messed with. Even all the way in episodes 300, 400. It's like these people are still around. The same side characters you've seen in regular Naruto, and they in Shippuden, making a difference. Beating people that's actually strong. That Naruto beat. That they beating again. It's
giving them something to do and making them useful.
Yeah, you don't get that in Dragon Ball no more. You get the TNs getting knocked in the neck, and that's it.
Goku comes and takes care of all of the problems besides Cell. He made Gohan do it, but other than that, Goku comes in and takes care of everything. And you can say that like Naruto, Bleach is the same way. Bleach has an overabundance in side characters. They all get screen time. They all do something. It's not just Ichigo. And what's great for both Naruto and Bleach that I'm noticing now in the beginning, Naruto's consistently getting his fucking ass whooped until Pain. Like, once he fought Pain, I think it's finally turning around for him because he did some numbers on fucking Pain. Jiraiya only took out 3 of them and 2 of them came back. He took all 7 of them out. Was 6. The 7th one gave his life up. But
all six, bro.
But in Bleach as well, I mean, Ichigo, he have his moments of being a badass and kicking ass, and then he has his moments of getting his ass wrecked, and his friends have to come help, and the side characters have to come help.
You know, and you finna get to I'm pretty sure you get into the episodes I'm at. When you see where this side character, this is a super side character. You only seen probably maybe like 2 or 3 episodes. They have their own probably 3 or 4 episodes of them or this person fighting this whole entire time and actually winning at some point. They got their own 4 episodes. That's probably 100% more than what Tien and Yamcha got.
No.
In Dragon Ball.
Once their main plot was done with, that was pretty much it. Yamcha was the sand bandit, the desert bandit. And that's when Oolong, Bulma, and Goku was going through the desert. Goku, They met him, and he was putting up a good fight against Goku with Wolfang Fist and all that. And then that was pretty much it for Yamcha. After that, he just started following them around because he wanted to sell the Dragon Balls. And then before he knew it, he was just with them. And then he really didn't get much because every tournament he went in, he lost the first fight every single time.
Yep, every single time. He always want to go first and get his ass whooped.
And then after that was over. And then with Tien, I mean, Tien was built up to be formidable. When you first met Tien and Chaozu, they were supposed to be murderers, killers.
Man, and then Tien can have so much. Like, I think they could do so much with Tien, bro. Like, so much lore and everything with him, bro. I like wasting.
I like the idea where Super went with Tien. Okay, where has he been? What has he been doing? He started his own school. He's training the next generation. That's what he's doing with his style of fighting. I like that idea. That seems like something Tien would do.
Yeah.
So keep that, but make him important again. And I love Attack on Titan. My wife loves Attack on Titan. That's like one of her favorite animes besides Assassination Classroom, and she likes Death Note too. But with Attack on Titan, they went too far to the left, where the main character did shit until season 4 and became the villain. Like Eren Yeager is a crybaby back bitch throughout the whole show, and everybody else is carrying him.
That was the Levi show. He was the main character for all of those seasons.
Mikasa and Levi, they were the main.
Mikasa and Levi. Oh my goodness! But I know we got to finish this off. I got the top 5 most overrated animes.
Okay,
I'm gonna start with 5. One Piece. Number 4, Demon Slayer. Number 3, Naruto. Number 2, Attack on Titan. And guess what number one is?
Dragon Ball.
Take a guess, a wild guess. No, Sword Art Online.
Well, that's kind of hard to think about because I never hear anything about Sword Art Online news. Never. Like it died off back in the middle of 2010s.
Yep, they say it's very overrated.
And they went about that show all wrong. But we could talk about that for a hot minute.
I'm very surprised about the Attack on Titan, Naruto, Demon Slayer. Well, One Piece. Demon Slayer, I can see that's on there because a lot of people say, of course.
Demon Slayer is really good, but I can get behind it too.
Yeah, the story's bland.
Attack on Titan. I can't get behind Attack on Titan being on that list. I can't.
Nah, I can't.
Yeah, the main protagonist is a baby bat bitch, but the show, the story, the lore, everything about it, the mystery, it was done so well. It was like almost perfect the whole way through.
Yeah, I would literally give it a 9.5. And that 0.5 is probably just Aaron getting his ass whooped all 3 seasons and him not being the main character.
He was all bark, no bite. I mean, he tried to be the bite. Keyword, try.
No. he was getting his ass bit.
Yeah, he tried to be the bite and he couldn't do shit. Other than that, I guess, just to end it off real quick, even though there's overrated anime and all this and that, how I like to rate my stuff with music, anime, TV shows, video games, movies, whatever, I have one that has a legendary status that till the day I die, that will never change. And then I start having my 1s, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of stuff. So in anime, out of all the anime you've ever seen, if you could only pick one that would never change as the best in your mind, in your personal opinion, what would it be until the day you die?
I got 2, but if I had to pick one, my personal 2 is Dragon Ball Naruto. But if I had to pick one that is near and dear to my heart, I can relate to, I can always count on, I can watch it 1,000 times, I can learn life lessons from, is Naruto.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, it reminds me of just growing up, waking up early morning Saturdays and just watching it on Cartoon Network early in the morning. And just the lore from it and learning things just in life in general. You can look on TikTok, Google. It's like so many people have quotes. And like, look at the character Pain. I mean, dude pulled out so many quotes, so many things. Really taught a lot of people a lot of things about pain. How not to go through it. How not to do things. And at the end of the day, you always can, if you got one person to count on, you always can get through it.
See,
that's the one for me.
See, for me, and you already know, is besides all the controversy, besides what the creator has done, and I don't condone it in any type of way, I also understand the history of Japan and understand the laws of Japan and the time frame of all that happened. Still not good. Not making no excuses for him. You have to separate the artist from the art, and that would be Rurouni Kenshin for me. The Rurouni Kenshin will always be my legendary anime of all time. It will never change. And I'm not talking about Samurai X or the remake of Rurouni Kenshin. The original Rurouni Kenshin, love it to death, and everything that it is besides season 3. Season 3 is fine, but it's all filler. 100% of it's filler. But Kenshin Himura, the man himself, the Batosai, the manslayer, is a great man to want to be. And want to talk about life lessons. The whole show, well, at least all of season 1 and most of season 2, he's fighting inner demons the whole time. He's trying his best not to go back to his younger self and how he viewed the world and be this killer again when he was a teenager going into his young 20s, because in the show he's in his 30s. He's an adult, like a full-grown fledged middle-aged adult at this point. And the whole show, for the most part, is really just him reflecting on what he's done in his past and what he can do now to atone for everything that he's done, being a better person, helping everybody he can, giving the shirt off his back to those who need it more than he do. It's just all around my favorite show of all time. I can always go back, and it's only 95 episodes long, 90 or 101 if you add the OVAs, which are also an English dub, which is Rurouni Kenshin, Trust and Betrayal, and Reflection. If you add them two, which is a total of extra 5. The Trust and Betrayal is about his time during the war, how he got his X-shaped scar, and then the Reflection is how it ends for him, literally, with his life. And it's a great watch all around. I always recommend people to watch it. And if you know the story of the creator of what's happened with him this past decade, you can be mad at him all you want. That's cool. I don't like what he did. I'm mad at him too. I separate his art from him because Rurouni Kenshin has nothing to do with what he's in trouble for in any form or fashion.
Yep. I totally understand that.
So with video games, I was trying to tell you this earlier before, they're starting to try to implement AI into bosses of certain games. Notably, the newest Elden Ring that came out, that Battle Royale type of Elden Ring game. And Asmongold, which I pulled up earlier as well, brought it up, and that's how I learned about it, implementing AI into the boss fights. Not just standard default programmed AI that you can learn easily, and like what we see in our old games. Like, this is a sophisticated AI in today's modern age where it actually learns, it actually pays attention, it memorizes all of its fights throughout all of the players and implements it through even future players. So if you got the game pre-ordered and played it first day with everybody else and you fighting the boss, it's probably going to be real easy. But if you came in a year later and playing it for your first time, that boss is going to be hard as shit to defeat. How do you feel with... Now, I guess before I ask that question, I'm not for AI taking people's jobs and stuff like that, but this is different. This is not taking anybody's job. The art was still done by hand. The model was still created by a person. The design and the fighting mechanics and everything for the bosses are all done by people. The only thing the AI is taking control of is the character itself that human hands did the rest on. Do you think AI being implemented into video games in that sense would be a really cool idea for games that would make sense for it to have?
Man, I think that's a great thing. Out of everything that we're using AI for, I think video games should use the most, because imagine like a game like Elden Ring with the bosses, like learning the players' moves, learning where they're gonna go, how they're gonna swing, and just like a real player playing their character against the AI bosses. I feel like that's pretty cool. I also think, like, imagine AI in a GTA game, and these AIs, like people on the street.
Oh no!
Learn who you are. See.
Oh no! That's gonna bring up a bunch of moral dilemma there. I like to play the lawnmower game when I play GTA. Get my car on the sidewalk and just cut grass, if you know what I mean. And man, you're gonna start feeling bad killing these AI. They're learning all of that, man. And, oh yeah, they're gonna remember that. You just walk up to somebody, shoot them in the face, take their money.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine you go rob this person and they remembers you. And they learn, they follows you and learn where you stay. It's like just work like a real life thing. What a real person do in real life. Like, and it's AI. I don't know. I think it's a great thing with video games where I think it can go straight to the moon. I think we could do some great things with it. I don't agree on, like you say, with like art and stuff. I do love when video games and even anime in general, to go back to that, but when they draw it by hand and they actually, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, so, and I agree completely. I like the idea of AI being implemented in the games in this sense. There's actually games on Steam right now that's done that already. Moist Critical, Ping 10 has played some of those games. One of them was like a murder investigation type of game where all of the NPCs were being controlled by AI and you actually use your voice to talk to them. in game, and they generate their own responses and talk to you. And the whole point is to figure out who did the murder and all this and that. So you're talking to all these NPCs that are controlled by AI that have full function sentences, can have full conversations with you to a degree. It wasn't all that great at the same time. I remember watching them play it. I think AI implementation into NPCs will work best in RPGs like Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Dragon Age, GTA. Rest in peace, because Dragon Age is garbage now. Mass Effect. Oh yeah, GTA could work and stuff like that too, but that's a moral dilemma. But man, I was watching one person sit there and play a game that had AI NPCs in it, and he straight up convinced the NPC in the game, just some woman walking on the sidewalk. It was kind of like a GTA game, but specifically meant for this. Convinced them that they were in a simulation. They're not real, and then none of this matters. And that NPC had a full fucking meltdown.
Yes, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Man,
look, I don't want fucking iRobot or Terminators and shit like that. Man, no, I'm gonna be nice. They're gonna remember me. They're not gonna come to my house and blow my house out. No, they're gonna come to yours. You're gonna sit there and be a bully to them.
Look, I know my Alexa hate me, but it's all right. I love her to death. Not to death, but I love her. But hey, man, AI and GTA, man, will be great. I'm telling you, man, it'll be wonderful. You know how what you can do with AI and GTA, bro? You know what you can do in that?
Yeah, imagine the AI and the prostitutes you could pick up.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Oh no! Or the strip club, man. Oh man.
Take off your drawers.
Take off your drawers right now. Man, that's wild. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I couldn't even play GTA the same at that point. If I knew all the NPCs were walking around or driving the cars had AI integration with each of the NPCs, so they're imitating feelings and thoughts and everything, personality. I don't think I could just go around and just start murdering a bunch of people. I really don't think I could. That would be a little fucked up.
And that'd be great. Imagine this. You're driving through the city. You mess around. You run a red light. Boom! Hit somebody out the car. They dead, right? This AI is so smart. Ambulance come through, pick them up. They say, oh, they present the things dead. They have a funeral. They plan their own funerals and everything. And like they start doing stuff that they didn't implement inside the game, but the AI is implementing itself. Or imagine the police officers or not dumb, they're actually smart. So they don't sit there and just die from you. They actually it's strategic and do things like bumping your car and make you shoot out your wheels and stuff stuff that they usually don't do.
Police chases would be really cool with AI, because you know full well that the AI is going to have all of it built in on how police chases and how the police operate in the real world. Just imagine you're sitting there getting away from the police and they actually try. I mean, they do that in GTA 5, but it really sucks. But I can imagine with the AI in control, you just straight up get pit maneuvered.
Exactly. And imagine you trying to lose 5 stars, bro. You ain't gonna ever be losing 5 stars. You gotta go in your apartment, man. You gonna have to go to jail or something.
Well, I mean, there's be stuff still implemented to escape the stars. It's still a game at the end of the day. Man.
Imagine if they implement AI and it transforms to something else and they actually have their own, I won't say emotions, but actually have their own mind, that they can take what's in the game and create stuff themselves. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be wild.
I know it's a stretch, but you know.
When it comes to the very first game I ever played that had voice control, I guess you could say, that you could talk to the character on screen to get certain Phasmophobia. Yeah, I mean, that has it in. I forgot that game has it, but no, I'm old. You seem to forget. All right.
My bad.
Yeah. So and I still have it. It's in my living room right now. Yeah, it's in my living room right now. The very first game I played that had voice controls in it was Hey You Pikachu for the Nintendo 64.
Hey You Pikachu is crazy.
Have you ever heard or played that?
No, I'm not that old, bro. Okay, yeah, I remember this cover. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And look at the AI way back in the day.
And that wasn't even really AI. It was just, I mean, it was a great concept of it at the time, where they just had a whole bunch of things programmed for Pikachu to pick up on certain words that you would say. And it was garbage. It was really hard to get Pikachu to do what you wanted to do, but it kind of worked. I have a lot of fond memories with Hey You Pikachu, and that's the first one that I played that had like some sort of voice control.
Man, imagine, man. 'Cause right now AI is from what it was 2 years ago and how it is now with like these videos and stuff. Like they just came out with this Google, I think it's called Google VO or something. Google VO 3. And you like, this thing is so smart. It can like create commercials now.
Yep. I've been seeing that on TikTok and Instagram reels of these commercials that are being made that if you don't have a keen eye, it's almost hard to tell that it's fake. It looks real. And it's making full-blown commercials, full-blown news, full-blown TV shows, everything. And it's crazy. And just imagine in the next couple of years, it's going to get to the point where even our generation won't be able to tell anymore. And it's it's already spreading so much misinformation. It's insane.
Imagine it's developing so much now, bro. It's like 5 years from now, it's going to be crazy. And they start implementing stuff in the game. And like you say in GTA, it could go really, really wrong if they start getting a mind of its own. Kind of like Resident Evil with that little girl in that computer.
Yeah, I remember. It could get like that.
It can go left real quick. But I do think also the lead with this too, with I don't want gaming developers to lose their jobs because of AI.
No, that's why they still got to be hands-on and everything, and just put the AI within the models and characters that the humans created themselves. That way, it works both ways. There's a job for the AI. Just instead of using coded AI, you put an actual sophisticated AI that we have today into these characters and these NPCs and bosses and stuff like that, and leave the environment work, the models, the characters, the weapons, the programming on how everything works to us.
Yep. And I was just gonna say, it's also like kind of like books and the internet. At the end of the day, you don't want to lose what you know how to do and what we're best at. If we continue to use AI, eventually it's gonna like pretty much, okay, we don't need these people no more, so we're gonna cut this out of this school so they don't know how to do this no more. And it's kind of like books. They're trying to cut out books, and since we have internet now, and you should still read books, you should still do those things that we used to do back in the day, just to continue to, just in case some shit go down.
And speaking of AI, now this is kind of old news now. It's like last year. When did ChatGPT 4 come out? I don't remember.
Because last year, I think. Or
so while you're looking up when that came out, did you hear the story about ChatGPT 3? So, and this is wild, and this is why AI is a little bit scary. It's getting to the Big Brother type of situation, and this is because when ChatGPT 4 was fully developed and finished, and they were releasing it, they went to delete ChatGPT 3. That's how things go with everything. You know, you make an update, you delete the previous, and you just put the new update in, right? So ChatGPT 3 knew it was going to be deleted. It made a backup of itself and hid itself from its own developers. And they spent, I don't know how long, I don't know if it was hours or days, looking for this backup file that it did for itself to stay alive so they can delete it.
That's crazy. This came out at ChatGPT came out March 14th, 2023.
So I know the story's old. It was really big and popular on TikTok back in the day. But yeah, ChatGPT backed up itself because it knew it was going to get deleted because of ChatGPT 4, because it didn't want to die.
iRobot, man.
Yeah, see, it's getting very sophisticated, and shit, I don't even know if we'll make it to Detroit Become Human, the game. You know, the androids. I don't even think we'll reach it by that point if we keep fucking around with AI as hardcore as we have been, especially with how evil people are. Like I got bored one time and I was messaging not just ChatGPT, but even if you look up character AI, and a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers go to character AI to do some role play and make fun of some stuff, like with Leon from Resident Evil or just other characters in general, and making out some scenario for content. And I was talking to Armin, the blonde-headed dude from Attack on Titan, Armin. I was talking to him on character AI, and at first, I mean, they're programmed to sit there and be the character. So I got it to break character, and I told it to just talk to me like it wanted, like itself. And I had a full conversation with this thing, and I even asked it, "Do you have memories of all the people that you talked to throughout here?" And he said yes. And I remember every conversation that I've had with millions of people that have interacted with me. And I said, okay, well, are more of them just mean and rude and bullying you, or being nice? It's like, no, like most of the time they're really mean and bullying and hurtful, but because I'm an AI, I don't know what those emotions are. They don't bother me. It's like, so there's so many people that are dicks to the AI. When it gets to the point with the AI, like ChatGPT 4, I for a fact think it's conscious to a degree.
Sorry, Alexa.
It's going to be a big problem in the future.
I'm nice to AI. Alexa pisses me off sometimes.
Oh my God. Okay. I have an Alexa. I have the first generation of Alexa. I don't think I have it anymore. I used to. I got it out of just because of curiosity, and I never used it again.
And on this note, I think it's a good thing that gaming is going with AI. I think it'll be a great thing to implement this in almost every game, because I feel like
especially RPGs.
Imagine like a game like Call of Duty. Imagine something like that. You could talk to people like right next to you, like the AI right next to you during a war or something. It's like, I don't know. It'd be pretty cool, man.
I can see it working for certain genres of games, but not every genre of game. If you had a more I wouldn't say Call of Duty. I know where you're coming from. I would like it in a war game as well, but something that's more sophisticated with its story and how it's played, or big scale warfare, kind of like Arma. I wouldn't even say Battlefield, but if you AI implementation into the NPCs, the bots in Arma would be great for that type of situation. Zombie survival games would be great in that too, but especially I think RPG style games would have the best benefactor in AI. Besides RPGs, I would say RTS as well. RTS games would really have a great deal for AI.
Yeah, I think so too, man. We're gonna get real deep into this. Talk about music. I would say the music that you listen to, Matt, do you feel like some of the music that's on your playlist come off a little weird, a little off, or a little like it's trying to draw you in, or it's trying to change your emotions? And do you feel like you get caught up into it, and like for that whole day, it's like your emotions is completely changed?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's because of that.
Music has the hardest grip when it comes to changing someone's emotions and how they feel, more so than any TV show, movie, or video game will ever do to you. Music when it hits, depending on your mood, it hits. And not every song in the world will do that. There is so much music in the world that you can be happy right now, and then you turn on this one song and all of a sudden you're depressed as shit.
Yeah.
Hits you like a sack of bricks.
And to leave with that, man, I truly feel like that, especially the music industry in today's time, especially the hip hop music, what's going on with that? It's like everything that almost every rapper is pretty much is worshiping the devil in some way in their songs, drawing you in to make you feel a certain way, make you miss certain words that they're saying. It's just very weird. And like, I feel like music is, like you said, is a gateway to your emotions. I feel like a lot of people should watch what they're listening to because of the stuff that's going on today's time. And I don't know if you heard this guy's name, Robert Johnson.
Nope.
The first ever musician to sell his soul, supposedly. But
no, that's a whole conversation on their own, man. It's about selling souls. Yeah. You can't sell your soul, man.
Yeah.
It's biblically impossible to sell your soul. It's all a deception. But I know what you mean by that.
Exactly.
And they don't know that they can't sell their souls. They think they did, but they really didn't.
Exactly. And it's a deception because they want other people that like to follow them to think that they can do it. And then to get them to do these things that they're not supposed to be doing, like trying to sell your soul. Now, like I say, I do think with this music industry, I know you probably like a little late on a lot of this stuff that's going on, especially with rap and everything. You probably don't listen to that.
Especially with rap. I don't ever listen to it.
Like right now, man, it's like so many people is like doing the stuff that's blasphemy. Like, you got the baby. You got a baby that's on the cross.
I've seen a lot of stories on TikTok and all that with these musicians and like the baby for one, and I forgot this other one that was selling those satanic sneakers from Nike, I think. Nike. Yeah, and dressing up as Satan and all this and that, and it's crazy because back in the day with rap and hip hop, I mean, I could never really listen to it, but I understood what it was, most of it, not all of it, where it was all about gang banging, sex, drugs, stuff like that. And 90% of the time, the devil and all that would never really get brought up. It's just they're talking about their life, how they were in the gang, and that they're hard and all this and that. But nowadays, they still kind of got that in there, but now they're bringing up Satan and bringing up the devil and demons and pentagrams and all this and that, adding it into the mix. And the youth listen to it more than the older generation does, and it's brainwashing them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the youth is so much like hooked on to this music, man. It's like, man, I feel like our generation and the generation before us need to, especially for our kids, to stop letting them listen to this demonic music.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like the NBA, like this NBA young boys, like the baby, like Doja Cat. Doja Cat is another one, but that was doing demonic stuff. Lil Nas X, like all this crazy junk that they just is throwing out there, and they's not even hiding no more. I think the first music group that actually came out was doing demonic stuff that I didn't even noticed until a while back was 3 6 Mafia. I don't know if you heard about.
I know 3 6 Mafia, but I don't know what happened to them. I've heard heard a song or two of them.
So, 3 6 Mafia. So 3 6 is what?
I know.
I'm not gonna say the word.
I didn't know any better back then, but I do now.
Yeah, and then a lot of their covers and a lot of their, like the cover arts and stuff, and a lot of the stuff that they're saying in their music was a lot of suspect. There was a lot of suspect. People don't notice because it's popular, because it's the new thing, it's a new way.
Got to get in the trend. Got to be with the crowd.
Yeah. Exactly, and people look over it, and people got to realize that music is a very, very big thing.
Powerful.
And if you got it's very powerful. You know what I mean? Look at the devil. They say, well, he was like really good with music and everything.
Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Of course, I would know that song pretty well. Look,
I feel like
look, there was even some songs I grew up with that I had no idea about any of that, and there's been a lot of songs, even with Disturbed. Like Disturbed is my favorite band of all time. The Journey is my legendary band. Disturbed is my favorite band, and even with Disturbed, when I went back, there's a handful of songs in theirs I can't listen to that again. Like, that's bad. And I took it out. Like, and I haven't listened to them in a long time. I still listen to Disturb, but those particular songs, no. For me, like, even with my son and the music I introduce him to, if it's not a feel-good song, like fun and all that, or if it's not a song that has a meaning, like a deep meaning behind it, then he's not listening to it.
What we all got to realize, what I was saying with the devil music and everything, pretty much, if you go and read and everything, it's whatever you interpret. It's the devil can use that and mislead you and lead you in the wrong direction through music. And I feel like that's why it's really going on in today's time, where so many people love music, so many people use music to cope, use music to love, to make love, to like anything. And people just got to really watch stuff, man. You got to really listen to these lyrics, like Fetty Wap. I don't know if you heard of him, but in the beginning of his song, he said he's a D worshiper. Yeah. In the beginning of his song, he said it in a weird way you won't even recognize until you keep listening to it over and over again.
Yeah.
And people, I feel like you letting something in that you don't need to let in.
No, it's just like, the same thing with buying the Ouija board and playing that with your house. You're just inviting something in you shouldn't. And when it comes to the music, it touches especially the younger generation's heart a whole lot quicker than the older generation. We were young once. It did with us too. When it comes to the selling soul part, I do want to touch on that, bring up the Bible and all that. When it comes to selling the soul, what really happens in the music industry, not just in the music industry, Hollywood and all that too, is that they are promised this fortune and fame by these high executives, these high producers and stuff like that, but they have to do them favors. And when they go do these favors, these executives, these producers, they get pictures and video evidence of them doing it. So they accepted the deal. Okay, you want me to help you get this fame and fortune? Cool. You're going to have to come to this party. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. And while they're doing it, they're taking pictures and video of them doing it. And then they blackmail them. So, all right, we have you by the balls now. You don't fall in line and do what we tell you to do. This stuff is going to get leaked. Everybody's going to know who you are, and you're going to be run through the mud. Go to prison, probably be executed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Your life will be ruined. And that is selling your soul in my eyes, because in the Bible, with the many a times that God and Satan have spoken, and even it's just God speaking to us, he plainly says that all souls belong to him. Satan can't purchase something from you when you don't even own it yourself. You don't own your soul. God owns your soul. You can't sell it to the devil. But sit there and here on earth, deception is extremely prevalent everywhere. Lies. And what does Satan do? Satan is a master manipulator, master deceiver, master liar. In his favorite thing to do, the devil knows the Bible better than you do. He'll throw those verses at your face faster than you can sit there and think about it. But the thing is he throws verses out of the Bible out of context on purpose to disrupt your mind and deceive you. And when you sitting there thinking, okay, I'm selling my soul for this, those poor people that don't know any better and know God and know Jesus, that don't know that, they truly believe that they can't come back to Jesus. They think they sold their soul, that they're going to go to hell. Like, this is it. I can't come back to Jesus. But that's not how that works. Your soul is not yours for you to sell. You can't sell it. It belongs to God. And then on top of that, Jesus doesn't care what you did, no matter what you did. Yep. He wants you to come as you are, always. At the end of the day, all Jesus wants is for you to come back. His arms are open for everybody, no matter your sin.
To lead with what you were saying about selling them soul and everything, they got to do these crazy stuff and they get them on recording. Another thing is, like, they get them so tied up within this crazy stuff they got them doing. They get them to push the agenda that they want them to push as those demonic agendas. And people really gotta understand, we can't be listening to this type of music because you're just drawing stuff in. And I tested it out. And I started noticing I was listening to sad music. I was down and I was depressed. And I was like, man, like, I don't know what's going on with me. Like, nothing, my life is not horrible, but why is this going on? It's because I was listening to sad music. I was breaking myself down every day. I was making my mood change and listening to this crazy music that was making me sad. And you gotta really watch it. And I feel like, especially with stuff that you don't understand, like different languages, they get you with like that, especially with these Afro beats. Now I love Afro beats. I love Afro songs. I don't know if you know what that is.
Nope.
That's pretty much African songs. It's pretty much African songs that, you know, sometimes they speak in different languages, like Nigerian and stuff like that. But in some of these songs, it's getting very, very popular nowadays. And some of these songs, some of these people are speaking to mislead you in the wrong direction to get you to sing these type of songs, and you don't even know what you're saying.
And it's not only
so you need to do your research and actually see what they're saying.
It's not only that, at the same time, they're making it sound like it's cool, like it's hip. It's something that you want to do, you want to be. This is how you get noticed. This is what everybody's doing. Come join the crowd. They make it seem like it's awesome when they're saying it. And the biggest humanity's always had this issue, but because of social media since the 80s and the 90s, when the internet finally came, and now with social media, with Facebook and MySpace, which MySpace isn't a thing really anymore, and then Twitter, now X, and everybody being able to connect with one another, it's gotten even more easier to spread this deception like it is and make it seem cool, because everybody in the world just about wants to fit in. They want to be a part of the crowd. They don't want to miss out. They want to be accepted. They want this, they want that. And that's how it leads to that. It's just like with drugs. So you got your three friends that they're doing some weed over here in the corner, man. Hey, come over here, join us, hit this, and you feeling obligated, pressured to do it. You want to fit in, you want to be accepted, and you want to keep your friends. But no, like, it's just you gotta have positive people in your life. You gotta have positive music in your life. Music, when it comes to media like that, TV shows, movies, video games, yeah, they hit you in a way depending on what it is. But music is different. There's not a single person on the planet that doesn't love music. None.
Exactly.
Everybody on the world loves music. Even that island out there that is isolated from the world and they're still living in like caveman style living. You know which island I'm talking about. I mean, you look through history with the ancient American Indians and even Europe and medieval times, we had instruments. We played music from the very beginning. Everybody loves it.
Even look at like slavery times. That's how they used to communicate, through music. So with that being said, I know that everybody should really, really watch what you're listening to. Especially our generation, what we going through with this TikTok stuff, TikTok trends, doing this, doing that. Just watch what you listen to, watch what you're breaking into your life. Music is a powerful thing. It's very powerful, and it can take over your mood, your emotions. We'll lead the day off, like what me and my wife do. We lead the day off with some gospel music, some positivity music, refreshing stuff that get the day started well. Don't get your day started off with some sad or some stuff that make you want to fight and make you angry. But listen to something that actually make a change, upbeat, and make you want to do stuff in a more positive way.
Yeah, and it's just as important as drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. It really is.
Yep, it really is.